welcome back. This is Brent Height, and this is episode 3 of my Israel and Jordan series. The pictures that you're seeing is the site of Herod's palace. It was built in Jerusalem in the last quarter of the 1st century BC by Herod the Great, king of Judea, from 37 BC to 4 BC. It was the second most important building in Jerusalem after the Temple Mount itself in Herod's day, and was situated at the northwestern wall of the upper city of Jerusalem. The site of the palace is called Herodium. Herod the Great commissioned this fortress and lavish palace to be built between 23 and 15 BC atop Herodium Hill for all to see. After watching a short video, we started the windy climb to the top. The hill itself was a natural feature, but by the use of slave labor, earth and rock was added to this hill in order to make a giant mound to elevate the palace so it could be seen for miles around. The palace itself consisted of 4 towers of 7 stories, a bathhouse, courtyards, a Roman theater, banquet rooms, a large walkway, as well as extravagant living quarters for King Herod himself and his guests. After King Herod's death, this site became the place of his burial tomb. So, I'm at the tomb of King Herod the Great, and he built it on top of this hill. The tomb's actually up behind me. I've already been up there, getting ready to go back up there. But you can see Jerusalem below. And this mountain was actually built higher. Archaeologists believe this place was built by slaves, paid workers, contractors, and architects. Herod was considered one of the greatest builders of his time, and geography did not daunt him. See, we don't have any handrails on the way back down to the parking lot. That's a long way down. Herodium was most likely the place where Herod lived, spent his final days, and then was later laid to rest here after his death. Okay, so we're in Bethlehem and we're going to a family-run restaurant.
He doesn't know what meat today.
Let's see what's going to happen here. So, this is what I've put on my plate so far, and they're going to bring us some barbecue, but we don't know what barbecue what. We don't know. We're going to eat some kind of meat. Maybe sheep or lamb or goat, chicken, or dog. I don't know. We'll find out here in a minute. So we got our barbecue. I don't exactly know what this is, but we're gonna eat it. So after we left the gift shop, the weather started to deteriorate, but there was a sight that was close to us that we really wanted to see, so we pressed on. All right, so we're at a brook where David chose 5 stones at one time before he met up with Goliath. Tell us where we're at, Mondo.
We are in the Ela Valley.
Set the scene for us.
Yeah, right above us. You'll see. This is the north here. South is that way, and the south side of the valley is where the Philistines would encamp. Probably a little bit more around the corner, but you'd have the hillside and the hillside, and they would taunt each other. And this is the valley. This you can see here. Normally, this would be running with water, and it would make its way through. So
this is where he chose the stones, and one of these stones killed Goliath, right? Not one of these.
Probably not one of those.
But one that he chose.
These are the ones that he left for us to get.
Right.
3,040 years later.
I've got mine.
Amen, brother.
All right. Thank you. So this is the day that we switched hotels and we moved from Galilee down to Jerusalem. So I'm at the Dan Jerusalem Hotel in downtown Jerusalem. So after a good night's rest at the new hotel, we started out with a tour of the Israel Museum, and one of the highlights there is a gigantic model of the old city of Jerusalem. And this is a model of the old city of Jerusalem.
Tuesday morning, I think we will do a back. I want video. Airdrop.
So after we entered the museum, there were many artifacts on display, but one of the highlights was pages of the Dead Sea Scrolls that were found in the caves of Qumran that we will later discuss in episode 4. Downtown Jerusalem, and we're going to go to the marketplace. We're going to find something to eat. We're kind of on our own right now. We've left our bus and we just got some free time. We're going to go eat and shop a little bit at some of the local markets. And we're in the direct center of downtown Jerusalem right now. So we are at the marketplace. Chicken. Place right here.
Very good.
And I'm gonna get a chicken hot dog. Now we're at Ein Gedi. We're gonna get some dessert. Can't really move here. Lots of people. Huh? Oh yeah.
In the front.
That's cool. Hey, I got you one.
Oh, thank you anyhow. That one's yours? Which one did you pick for
Either
you?
one, it don't matter to me. I don't care.
All right. So we got our cookies. We got something to do playing the guitar out here. I do. Good cookie. We got some military dude up here on the right. We gotta go catch our bus or it'll run off and leave us. So, and if we miss the bus, we'll have to get a taxi. What's your dog?
And this guy is cutting big slabs and putting in a pile, and we're having a hard time communicating. I ended up spending not yesterday, but he's told me.
There's the old city in front of us. That's David's Tower. And where are we going?
Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is in the old city.
Okay, so we're going inside the wall?
Probably gonna go in the Jaffa Gate since we're right here.
Okay.
And then I think it's, if I remember right, it's close to David's Tower.
Okay.
So I just showed these previous clips to give you an idea of what it's like to walk in downtown modern day Jerusalem. But now we're going to walk into the old city of Jerusalem and see what it's like to walk in the ancient city beyond the wall. So we entered one of the gates of the old city and we're heading to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre.
We're gonna go up the stairs.
So this monument is built over one of the two supposed burial places of Jesus Christ. And this is the supposed stone that they anointed Jesus' body after his death. What you will hear next is a Muslim prayer that's offered 5 times per day.
Push us over, go.
It was very crowded here this day because the Muslims were celebrating Ramadan. This was the first day of Ramadan, and the Jews were celebrating Passover. And there were Christians here celebrating also.
There's so many people here.
The Muslims by far made up the largest percentage of population that was here on this day, and there was a record-breaking 130,000 Muslims that showed up for the first day of Ramadan. We were inching along little by little, to say the least.
This is the Lion's Gate, and it's Ramadan, and there's lots of...
With much struggle, we finally made it back to an open sidewalk where we could walk back to our bus that you can see on the right in the distance. And although it was very crowded, we saw many interesting things inside the old city that day. So after an evening meal and a good night's sleep, we prepared the next morning to head out for the desert. So here we're getting ready to board our bus like we do every morning. After a long ride through the desert, we finally arrived at Masada, a fortress built by King Herod. We went inside and got a ticket for a cable car and prepared to ride the steep incline to the top of the plateau.
Oh my goodness. One day we can take out the That's
Welcome to Masada National Park. Please be careful of the automatic doors. We hope you enjoy your visit.
Here we go.
So we're at Masada. There's another one of the cars that's getting ready to depart. And there was about 50 of us in that car. And we're in the desert, and we're south of Jerusalem, about an hour and a half's drive.
Are we all here? Ground and power in Jerusalem. That was the reason why he came here. He was not the first one to build here. Okay, the chain King Herod. You see, this is the highlight. This is the magnificent. He was very limestone.
So we're at Masada National Park. And Masada is an ancient fortress in Israel's southern Judean desert. It's a massive plateau overlooking the Dead Sea. This ancient fortress, built by Herod in 30 BC, would be much like Hitler's eagle's nest. Among the ruins are King Herod's palace, which is spread out over 3 rock terraces, and a Roman-style bathhouse with mosaic floors. The siege of Masada was one of the final events in the First Jewish-Roman War, occurring from 72 to 73 AD. The siege is known to history by Flavius Josephus, a Jewish rebel leader captured by the Romans, in whose service he became an historian.
And we're going to visit the Bethlehem.
This place is important to the Jews in that, after Judea became part of the province of the Roman Empire, it was a refuge of the last survivors of the Jewish revolt, who chose death rather than slavery when the Roman broke through their forces. This site is at the southern district of Israel, situated on an isolated rock plateau at the edge of the Judean desert overlooking the Dead Sea.
The armed forces still doing it here. The tanks, the armed forces, they do it.
And these are catapult rocks which could be launched toward the enemy in the valley below. There were lots of creams and facial products made from local ingredients that were for sale in the gift shop down below, and everything was tax-free. In the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 24, we read a story about David hiding from Saul in the caves in the desert. King Saul had become jealous of David and gathered up a group of men and set out to seek him out and kill him. Today this place is called Ein Gedi, and it is an oasis valley in the middle of the desert on the banks of the Dead Sea. There are about 3 or 4 caves visible as you make your way up this valley. There's a high probability that David probably hid or even lived in some of these caves, and he probably drank from this stream also. So we proceeded up the mountain so we could find the source from where this water was coming from. We climbed higher and higher, and you can see the Dead Sea in the background. And the Dead Sea in the background is actually the lowest spot on Earth. It's 1,200 feet below sea level. It's interesting that the vegetation is only growing about 10 feet on either side of this stream that's coming down the mountain. Anything beyond 10 feet is just dry desert rock. We continued to climb higher to discover that there was a complete tunnel of vegetation ahead of us.
It's really slick right here, people. A little water passes through here. The main waterfall's out there, and we're still climbing. It is off pretty slick.
Here you go, Kim. Hallelujah. We're gonna make this.
Made it. Yes. We're on track. So far, so good.
She's still down.
يلا ريشان ريشان ريشان
And we made it to the top, and this was the source of the water. There was a waterfall at the top, and it's almost a miracle that water is gushing out of the very top of this mountain in a desert region. And it probably has been for several thousand years. This stream of water sustained King David in a time of need. It's no accident that the water was flowing then, and it's no accident that it's flowing still today. This concludes episode 3 of my Israel and Jordan adventure. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and a subscribe and share it with a friend. Remember to be safe, God bless, and we'll see you next time on Brent Hyde Outdoors.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.